Hello, welcome along to a wet and windy part 2 on the Porsche. It's got a wide wet and windy now, it's outside, kind of. Start the video with a waffle, why not? Porsche 997, we left off in part 1 with that being coated in NOVOL classic car hybrid epoxy. So the whole shell now is in hybrid epoxy, the outer shell. What the boys are doing now is it's pretty straight actually. The beauty with this epoxy is it's got a nice sheen to it. So you can look down the panel surface and pick out any minor indentations and so on and so forth that you might have missed when it was in bare steel. And we have given it a quick once over and it's pretty damn clean. So this shouldn't be too bad a job. Obviously we've welded in a pair of rear arches into this, so the boys are just getting a wipe in there. What we start with here, and I've said it before and we really should do this actually, a little video just on the elastic fibre. We use elastic fibre, which is a fiberglass based levelling filler. Now when you talk about fiberglass filler, you kind of flash back to the 80s and 90s where, I think it was a RESPLENDENT product. Fiberglass filler was just like this big, thick, heavy treacle. You put it on there and it's straight away, it's an inch thick. Well, this is nothing like that. It's stronger, it's better, it's smoother. I mean, that's as fine a wipe as you'd get with a top levelling polyester putty or filler. So that's a nice uniform wipe through there, which has got great build, great strength, and just irons out any imperfections and deviations in the panel from welding in, as we said in part 1, really thin steel. So we've tapped it up, we've dressed it up, and then we're doing final shaping now with the elastic fibre. So we'll cut back in here, all the right shape, level it off with blue light, which is more of a standard kind of filler, but we do all of our build refining work, all of our building work in elastic fibre, and then we move on to refining with a finer paste. So we'll crack on with that, and this video we'll see all the way through the colour of the body shell. We're also doing the underside, so plenty to get moving on with. Okay, when we talk about build with the elastic fibre, build's possibly the wrong word. That suggests we're putting a lot on here, but there really isn't a lot going in here at all. When we say build, you can see here we're already cutting through to the base material. So this is a really thin wipe, but what the elastic fibre offers over standard polyester based primers is a strength of build. So especially over welds where you've got an inconsistent sort of a wobble within the panel. If we use the elastic fibre, that will smooth out and even out the discrepancy within the panel, but it does so with such a strong foundation layer. It really is equivalent. No, I'm not going to say it's equivalent to, because in our view it's better than lead. So we're applying this onto the epoxy base, which is what we've discussed before. So the green here, this is our epoxy base. And we're putting the levelling compound on top of the epoxy base. So at no point, this is being elastic fiberglass, this won't absorb moisture. This doesn't absorb moisture. So at every level we're keeping this dry, moisture free, so we know that this isn't going to move or change shape at all once we've got that shape in there nice. So Lou's just finishing off and refining the shapes here, and then we go over later with a glazing putty or possibly the blue light just to refine any, I mean just as an example here while Lou's working, you can see there's a couple of low bits there. Now they may well block out in the cut, but if they block out and change the shape, that's no good. So any little bits like that, we'd want to level that out with a finer putty.
Starting to see a bit of a rear arch there as well.
Yeah, cutting in the shape there, which is what we want. But as you can see here, there's steel underneath there. So that's how thin a layer, how thin a white is going into this. And this is what leveling compounds and fillers are used for, not for making inner sills. Mentioning no names, Cadillac. Okay, we're now into the booth ready for the NOVOL for Classic Car Hybrid Epoxy primer going on. This is top coat primer. So we're marching along quite nicely here. You can see the shaping's all finished off on the rear quarter panel. I'll go around the other side, show you that side as well. It's all in there. The board's just masking away now, getting ready for the primer coat. So that's all feathered out, blended in there nicely. And that, I think, they will shout and correct me if I'm wrong, is the only shaping and filler work that the body's needed. Pretty well, yeah. It is a clean, straight body shell, this, with the exception of obviously all that corrosion that we had in the back there. So it's obviously been well looked after in its lifetime. Minimal car park dents and dings to sort out. It's purely a corrosion job. So yeah, we'll push forward now. Masking's almost complete, and we'll get some top coat primer onto this later on today. Classic Car Hybrid Epoxy filler top coat primer. Shaped up really nice. Primer's gone down lovely. I'm sure I don't have to say that we're using the WSP primer gun. Puts it on there really nice. This will now sit overnight, and then come tomorrow morning we'll put it on for a paint cycle just to give it a final cure, and then get this all blocked down, be ready for colour. Okay, out from the booth now, all primed up. What we're doing here now, as you probably guess, is blocking down the primer. Luke's just sooting it up with a guide coat now, just so we can go down and block and refine the primer. This won't be taking any sort of damage out because there isn't any anymore. This is just the refining surface, ready to accept the colour. There's various areas here you can still see in blue. They will be painted, so we'll go fully into the door shuts. There's absolutely no damage to the painted surfaces as it stands, so we'll get the sill tread plates off, the last few bits of trim off, all the original stickers in there, we carefully mask those out. We don't want a big build-up of paint in here around those stickers, so as there is no damage, we just key up those surfaces, recolour them, fresh coat of lacquer over the top, so it's all uniform, ready for the panels to go on.
Right, so here we are in the booth with the 997 all masked out, degreased, tapped down, rubber-free primed, ready to go. And it's the first time we'll be using the LS400 Series 2. It's nice with the digital gauge. So yeah, quite looking forward to this one. I'm the first one to use it, much to Keith's demise. So yeah, give it a go, see how it comes out. That's the first coat down with the LS400, and I have to say it's very nice to paint with. it lays nicely, it's nice and quick, and I've only gone through a small amount relatively of material. I've done a whole body shell and I've probably got about 100mm left in there out of the 600mm cup, so actually, yeah, very, very pleasantly surprised.
Okay, so here we are, the morning after. Lou's done a stunning job here. Really nice, clean bit of paint. This was painted last night before we packed up, so we've left it overnight just to flash off, air off. We leave the booth running for about an hour and a half afterwards, running at 20 degrees, keeping the temperature in there. Come in the morning, it's all flowed out, it's all gassed out nice, and we'll stick it on for a bake this morning for a final full cure. But I thought I'd just run through quickly before we do that, show you a video. It has come out super clean, stunning colour. And the LS really does lay down a nice bit of base coat. We've got beautiful finish in the colour there. Down here, as I was talking about earlier with the stickers, the reason we don't go heavy and priming into here is there's no damage. So we're not actually gaining anything with a primer. The original paint that was in that shot was really good. So we want to minimise the thickness. So the stickers and the labels, they're all masked out, nice and tight with the masking. We leave a little tab on the masking tape so that once the base is down and the last coat of clear goes down, we give it about 10 minutes just to flash off a little bit more, pull the tape off, and we've got nice, there's no build up there, there's no hard edges on the stickers. The original labels are kept in place, giving that little touch of authenticity. Really, really nice finish there from Luke, done a cracking job. And yeah, minimal denibbing and polishing, which is what we like to see. Okay, yep. Okay, all the panels are now painted. We've just got the bumpers to do, but everything else is painted. Before we go on and reassemble the car though, this is going up on the two-poster ramp where we're going to go through the underside of the vehicle. Engine and gearbox is out at the minute, so now is the time to do it. We're going to go through the full underside, clean it all back, wire brush it, hope there's no corrosion growing up underneath there, and then it's getting treated with NOVOL Cobra underbody on the ramp. So yeah, we'll crack on, get up on the ramp, go through that process. Are we going? Yeah. Okay, right, up on the ramp now and having a good look underneath. as we said before, there's no engine and gearbox in here, so it's a little bit light at the back end. So we've got the prop stand in here, just making sure we're not moving anywhere. And so all the weight's kind of here at the minute, nothing at the back. But we've got the under trays off. There's not a lot going on up here. It's all kind of substructures, but it's not bad. It really isn't bad. It's just a lot of dry surface rust. So what we're going to do, I don't know how well all that's coming out, Lou. I can grab a torch if you need one. It's probably worse at the back here. You'll be able to see it a bit clearer. But we're going to spend a bit of time unclipping the many, many hoses and pipe work and things that are attached up onto the body. We're going to drop that down so that we can get in there and give it a real good abrasive scrub up. And then we can mask around everything. I mean, some of these pipes we don't want to be taking off. Also, some of the pipe work, we're not mechanics, we don't do this kind of stuff, so some of the pipe work could be a bit fragile. We don't know. That goes back to Goblin to be done anyway. But with the engine and gearbox out, we can see that it's not rotten at all, but it is rusty. So all these big solid members here, we're just going to get all this cleaned back. And give it a nice big healthy coat of NOVOL Cobra underbody. So we'll crack on now, get all of that done. I mean, there's a fair bit of work in doing that, but we're going to crack on, get that done. Then we'll carry on with the reassembly of the car. The glass is booked to be going in by the end of the week. So yeah, glass in is one of the final processes. So crack on this week, big push. We should be done by the end of the week. Right, we're underneath here. We've got all the pipe work and so on. That is actually hanging clear of the body now. So we've gone through underneath here, fully wire wheeled and brushed up. Lou's just going around now with an acid neutralizer in various areas. Now, obviously this is not going to be as in-depth and detailed had this been a stripped body shell blasted, but it is fairly well accessible. We'll spend a bit of time taping and masking up, clearing everything down. So this will get degreased, cleaned up, ready for some NOVOL Cobra. So all these rusty areas here, surface rust, get hit hard with a wire wheel, then scrubbed up with a bit of acid neutralizer before being coated. It's all rock solid. As you would have seen, we've done a couple of repairs down in here, back of the rear cross member. Ready to go and be coated now in some NOVOL Cobra. Okay, as you've just seen then, this is now fully coated underneath the NOVOL Cobra. Luke's had a busy couple of days getting everything dropped down, masked up, all cleaned back. Yeah, busy. It's all gone back really nice. Unfortunately, it's all going to be hidden in a minute by plastic shields and things like that, but it's got some nice protection under here now, so all the way through the back, up into the wheel arches, everywhere that we've been as well is fully coated, so all the repairs are fully coated. It's worth bearing in mind, of course, that this is not a cure-all. I need to explain that really. Blank checkbook, perfect world, any body restoration would be stripped out, shot blasted, on a rotisserie. Some people want to acid dip with shot blast. So obviously that's not what's gone on under here, but we've gone to lengths to get as much, to be fair, all of the flaky underseal off. So we've got it all back, we've feathered it out rather than just sort of pick a bit off. We've feathered it out so that we know any existing stuff is still got good adhesion. We haven't just painted over the top of it. So there is a good deal of protection in here now. What we'll do with the wheel arches is we've yet to build the interior. So with the wheel arches, we'll get inside and we'll pump all of that cavity in there. We've got some good access. We can pump that full of hot wax with a long lance to make sure that inside the wheel arches are fully protected as well. So that's the underside done. All the bits back up now except for the under trays. We'll carry on now with the rest of the car, build it all up, get the glass in it, and push forward to completion on this. There we go, one Porsche 997 bare metal repaint using NOVOL for Classic Car products. It's gone together really nicely, and I think the CSR lacquer gives the colour an extra bit of pop. It's looking crisp. We're really pleased with how this has come out. I say finished, it's not 100% finished, because you probably noticed we've got no Porsche badge here. And we'll overlay some footage of the car as well on top, and you'll see there's no badges on the back of it. This has gone together and we have done absolutely nothing to it in terms of refinishing the paint. This is, as you'd call, a gun finish. So we've done no denibbing, no flattening and polishing, nothing. This is straight out the gun. The reason for that is twofold. One, it leaves us, apologies if this noise is picking up, we've still got groundworks going on outside, but it leaves us now and goes back over to Brad at Goblin Automotive, who's going to put the engine and gearbox, which has been refreshed. He's going to stick the engine and gearbox back in it. So with the greatest respect to Brad, it's going into a different workshop now. So there's no point us doing all the flattening, polishing, making it look absolutely spot on if it's going to sit in a potentially dirty environment for a week or two. But also, it's leaving Brad's and it's going over to another company we work hand in hand with, Empire Automotive. Now they are our area, and I say our area, it's a big area, it's kind of like the whole of the southeast. They are CarTech approved ceramic coat applicators. So they're going to put on there the Cartex ceramic guard, which we're going to go over and watch them do it and have a chat with Callum and Dan and go through the process, because the Cartex, we would always say don't do any sort of ceramic coating or wrapping or anything to this for at least 4 months. You've got to let the paint continue to breathe. Well, Cartex have got an awesome ceramic coat process which allows the paintwork to breathe, but has all the benefits of ceramic coating, which means that you don't get water staining. It just gives it an extra protection and an extra bit of luster. So that's why there's no badges on it, going back to my point. So it's finished as far as we're concerned. It's going off now, as I say, engine and gearbox, and then it'll have the ceramic guard put on it, which we will go over, and that will be kind of a part 3 video, but also a standalone promotion on what Cartex and Empire Automotive can do to further protect and enhance your investment. So hope you've enjoyed this process. Quite nice actually to do this in a 2-stage rather than a multiple part video. But yeah, there we go, one Porsche 997 which is ready to leave us, and yeah, we'll get you an update with the ceramic guard in a future episode. So thanks for watching. If you like it, please hit subscribe, and we'll be back next week with some more paintwork.